sick of wasting your entire day staring at the charts? Forget that. I trade for just 2 hours using a 1-minute scalping strategy that grows my accounts and frees up my day. I'm looking at a single no-wick candle as my entry. You've never seen this before. Now, I'm not promising or guaranteeing any results. Just because I'm building a beautiful mansion does not mean you will. I just hope you can learn 1 or 2 trading concepts that you can take into your trading plan that I use in mine. Now, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and let's get into it. To teach you this 1-minute scalping strategy, all we need is 1 trade per day, 5 days, and 2 hours of trading. So let's go through an entire week back testing, showing you the exact 2 hours with this scalping strategy. Really simple. Let's just start with day 1. It's day 1 and our first 1-minute scalping strategy trade just smashed the take profit. Now, how do we do this? Let's rewind and let me show you. First thing I want you to do is come to freetradingview.com, come to the 5-minute time frame, and we're going to install some indicators. First indicator is the opening range with breakouts, so just click on that right there. Come up to the top. Use these settings right here. All you need is the custom range, 9:30 to 9:45 UTC -4, time period 15 minutes. Then come to the bottom right here and just make sure you're UTC -4, so we're both trading at that same time, 9:30 a.m., the New York Stock Exchange open. The second indicator I want you to install is the no wick candlestick identifier, okay? For those settings, you're just going to use this. Bearish, no top wick. Bullish, no bottom wick. Turn everything else off. Click OK. If I zoom in here, these are just going to show us these Marubotsu candles, right? This is a candle with no bottom wick, and it is a strong level to buy from, very similar to a demand zone. So the first thing we're doing here on the 5-minute time frame is we're watching just the first 3 candles from 9:30 to 9:45. You can see right there, those candles are moving, and that is setting up your range, right? That is your range high and your range low for the entire day. We're just doing that on the 5-minute time frame. The 5-minute time frame, we're also looking at the overall trend, different support levels. You can see right here, we are clearly in an uptrend, respecting our trend line right here. Then we want to come down to the M1 time frame. Here we're looking for a break. You could see we got a break out the top of the range right here, but it wasn't a good break. You want a more significant break. So let's continue to play that thing out and see if we can get the break we want. And you can see we will be painting on these candles during this process, putting those Marubotsu candles to give us potential entries. I'm telling you, you've never seen this before, and it's incredibly powerful, and it works really well with our supply and demand strategies as well. So here we go. We finally get that breakout, right? But again, not a great breakout, right? A little too soft. We want to see something with more momentum. We want to see a big push. So we're being patient, and this is the M1 time frame, and then we finally get it. Look at this. This is the breakout you want. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 green candles in a row, right? Absolutely awesome. And what happens when we get that? Look, we get our Marubotsu candle right there, right? There's no bottom wick. So that operates like a demand zone. And we also actually have a demand zone at that level, so it's a good overlap. That gives us a place to enter a trade. Why? Look, we got the break and close here outside the top of the range. We got the Marubotsu candle. That's giving us a place to enter. So we're just waiting for the price to come back to that level, slowly but surely, and that's where we're going to enter our trading position. Here it comes, 1 candle at a time, all the way down. And then right there, we enter the trading position, and let's go and show you what happened with that trade. It smashed the take profit almost immediately. For my stop loss, I had it below that mid-range line right there. And for my take profit, I was just taking profit right here at recent consolidation at this recent level of resistance right there. Simple stuff. a winning trade. Let's go into day 2 and get a little bit more advanced. All right, it's day 2. Let's get into another 1-minute scalping strategy trade. If you're wondering what pairs I trade, look, these are all the pairs I trade here in my market watch, and you can see me do this on stream Monday to Wednesday every single week live. So back to the strategy right here. You can see on the 5-minute time frame, we've got a trend line right there, multiple touches on the trend line, and then it's 9:30 a.m. So let's play this out. 9:30 a.m. What's happening? We set our range, right? We set our range high right there and our range low right there. When that happened, we got a break of the trend line finally and a break of the range, which tells us what? It tells us we are now bullish. We are looking to buy. So let's get down to that 1-minute time frame. Here we are on the 1-minute time frame and we are playing it out. You could see we just broke out of our range high and now we are looking to buy. Where can we get into a trade? What is a good level for us? Well, I see a level right here that's really good for us already. I'm going to set up a long position right here, see if price comes to tap that level. Why? We have our no wick candle right there acting as our demand zone, right? Now, we have another one right here too. Okay, that's another one, right? You can see this one and this one. I like this one better. Why? Because we also have the demand overlap. Look, 1, 2, 3, 4 green candles in a row. So it just also happens to be a demand level. I'm going to set my stop loss this time just below our range right there. Not all the way down here because I want better risk reward, something like this right here. And then we can let this continue to play out as we wait for those candles to cascade to our entry right there. And then let's slow it down. We tap in. And look at the reaction you get from that Marubatsu candle, right? That's because there's no wick on that candle. It's a strong confirmation. It's a psychological level. It's a momentum candle. And as you can see right here, we touched the level on a multiple occasions, but every single time there were buyers there to shoot that thing up and smash our take profit. Now let's get deeper and deeper and deeper as we go into day 3. Okay, it's day 3. It's 9:30 a.m. Eastern. I'm on that 5-minute time frame. You can see we just set the orb right there. You can see we had the top of the range right there. We got the bottom of the range right here. We just broke through our trend line right there. That's telling us that we want to buy. Now we want to see, can we get a break in the range? And that's exactly what happened right here. Price just broke and closed above that range. Another reason to buy. So we're coming down to that 1-minute time frame. Now on the 1-minute time frame, you can see we have our Marubatsu candle right there, and it also happens to be a pretty good level of demand. So that's where I want to get into a trade. So let me set up my long position, something like that. See if price can come to my level right there, get into a position, have the stop loss below the range midline, something like that. And let's play it out and see if we could get into a trade. Now, we seem to be missing the trading opportunity here. It doesn't look like it's going to come our way. What happened? What happened? And it shot up. So we missed the move today on Wednesday. I like this entry. Now, if you wanted, you could have shifted this up right here, right? We had this Marubatsu candle right here. That could have been your entry right there. And if it was, you could have got into a trade. And based on my take profit, it would have been a really big trade. But I missed out, right? I missed out. Sometimes you miss out. If you watch me on live stream, you'd frequently see I miss trades sometimes. That's absolutely fine. Let's go into day number 4. All right, it's day 4. I'm on the 5-minute time frame. Look, price is in a downtrend. What just happened? We created our range, right? And our range low, 9:30 a.m. Eastern, right? Those 3 candles. Then what are we doing? We're waiting for the price to break out the top or the bottom. Look, price just respected the trend line right there, broke out the bottom right there. So that's telling us what? That we want to sell, right? That's a selling indication. Our trend line is also holding the price. That's another reason that we want to be taking a sell today. So let's go ahead to the M1 time frame. All right, here's what it looks on the M1 time frame, right? We just had that breakdown right there. We've got a Marubatsu candle there, Marubatsu candle there, Marubatsu candle right there. All of those candles are telling us that we're going down hard, we're going down heavy, and there's no buyers, right? Just sellers on each of those candles. Which one do I like? I like this one right here. Why? Because it's a supply, right? That's the beginning of the down move. You could also be looking at this level right there. Those are two levels, but I'm going to go with what? The Marubatsu right there at the top. So let's set up our short position at that level, be something like this. Can target that level right there. Stop loss can be above the range. And let's see if we could get price to tap into our level. So here it is coming up. Let's adjust it a little bit. You could see right there we tapped into our trade. Let's see how this one plays out. So at this level right here, if I was on stream, I'd probably take a take partial one. Definitely watch my streams to see how I trade live with discretion. But on this one, since we're just back testing, you can see I'm just going to let it go. And sadly, it's not going my way so far. Let's continue to play this thing out. See if it hits my stop loss. It hasn't yet. This has taken a while, but sadly, there it goes, hitting my stop loss. So look, the strategy isn't going to work every single time. If you were winning every single one of your trades in life, you'd be rich. You wouldn't be watching me here on YouTube. And trading is never that simple. But I've got one more trade to show you on day number 5 that's going to help you bring this all into perspective. But before we get into day number 5, if you're wondering where I trade, I'm trading with the AAA FX broker. This is the best broker in the business. The spreads are low. The commissions are low. It's using the best MetaTrader apps available. So click the link in the description. Registration is absolutely free. Now let's get into that last trade. All right, it's day 5. It's 9:30 a.m. I'm looking at the 5-minute time frame and I'm setting up my range. Look, we've got the range high right there. We've got the range low right there. We've got a trend line right here. Look, 1, 2, 3 touches right there, and that is holding the price down. Let's see what happens as we play this out on the 5-minute time frame. Oh, we get the break. Absolutely fantastic. That's the break of the range right there. It's also the break of our trend line. That's 2 reasons for us to buy. So that's what we're going to do. Let's go down to that M1 time frame. Now we're on the M1 time frame. We're looking for a reason to get into a trade. Look, we had a pretty strong level of demand right there. Hey, we could have entered a trade right there and made ourselves some profit off of that demand. There's nothing wrong with demand zone trading. Watch my last video if you missed it. But right now, what are we looking for? We're looking for that Marubatsu candle, right? A candle with no bottom wick. We want to buy. If you know you're buying, you could also come into the settings of the indicator right there and you could turn the bearish ones off, make it a little bit easy for you. So why didn't I take this one right here or any of these ones right here? Because look, we had this strong level of demand right there. It makes more sense for me to use this level, okay? It just makes more sense. You want to have confluences that add up. And even if you pull this thing along right here, now you have a level that was used as resistance, a level that was used as support, a level that was used as support again. And so let's not reinvent the wheel. Let's throw a buy position here. Let's put the take profit at resistance, something like this. Let's have the stop loss below the range midline, our entry right there. Let's pull this thing over and let's play this out. How does this go? Does this come to our level? Let's move this thing over just a little bit more and see, is it going to come to our level? There it goes, taps in and an immediate response. Very, very nice. Let's get all the way to that TP. That's it. Smash the take profit at resistance. It's really that simple. If you like this strategy or you need any help, leave a comment, smash the like button. Consider joining my VIP trading room. We've got an undefeated week going right now. The link is in the description. Definitely watch this video right here, or maybe watch this video right here, and I'll be back next week. Much love.